Hello and welcome back to EOT, and today we are running a 410 Guristas Scout Outpost, which is a DED complex, and we are using a Vex and AV issue with 3x drilling augmentators and a basic Tech 2 cap stable fit. This is a 1200 DPS tank, and we'll be using drones, not weaponry, for that itself. So we'll see you for that when we get there. So we are approaching the DED complex now, and as you can see, it's a DED threat assessment risky 4 of 10. We'll be activating the tank, which is a reactive armor hardener, an armor explosive hardener, and we're going to be rolling the reps. So we're going to wait until it gets exactly halfway and then roll the secondary rep. So we're running a 600 DPS rolling tank. So we're going to head on in. So with the video, we're not going to record the whole thing in terms of running all of the rats out and so on. We're just going to show you the first room and the things that you should be doing. So the first thing you're going to want to do is choose an orbit, which is going to be the supply container, and it's going to be orbiting at 15 kilometers with the afterburner on. We're going to go ahead and get started and start killing these things off, and then we'll come back to you. So we are about nearly done with the first room. As you can see, we've got the drones working their magic. They've cleared out a fair amount of the NPCs, and they're now on to the recall your drones. Pulling the drones back in because they're taking damage. We'll wait for them to retarget, and then we'll go after them again. So we're just orbiting the main part here, and you have to kill everything in this room to be able to move on to the next room. So we'll see you for that. Right, so that is the first room about to be cleared. So it's recalling of the drones and then going through to the second room. Now the good thing about the second room is you don't actually have to clear it. If your tank is strong enough, you can just go straight to the loot catch and blow it up. So we're going to show that there. So just wait for the drones to return to the ship here. And we will then cut into... Actually, no, I'll leave it.
Warp drive active.
So going through to the second room now, and we're going to, once he's in, going to approach the loot catch in the middle. As you can see, there's a feral bit there. So the loot is in the radiating telescope, and what you want to do is get, with this particular setup, is get the entire room aggroed on you. And let's say if you're using a ship fitting similar, you can literally sort that out. Apologies if you can hear a small child in the background. So we'll go over there and we'll sort that out. So we're now on the radiating telescope, and we're basically going to go ahead and just attack the radiating telescope with the drones and stay right next to it whilst tanking the room. Hopefully they won't take too much damage. If they do, we'll just keep putting them in, dropping them in, drop them out, drop them in, etc. Because this is where your loot is itself. So as you can see, the whole room is shooting, the tank's holding, you know, and so on. So that's all we need to worry about, is the tank holding whilst we sit here and wait for this to blow up. Now this is always hit and miss, this part, because sometimes you can get loot from this and sometimes you'll get absolutely nothing. It's all random numbers games, RNG, so it will completely depend on the card that's been dealt with it. Sometimes you can get super lucky, you can get sort of multi-spectrums, which are worth sort of anywhere between 500 and 900 mil. As you can see, one of the drones is starting to take damage now, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. There we go. Back in. So we're going to pull the drones back in now. Because we're right next to it, it won't actually take that long for them to come back in. Then you wait for these to go red again in your overview, essentially making sure that they're not going to start shooting the drones immediately. So the damage is pretty much nearly done on that. They're starting to go red again, so just waiting for all of them to start the aggro back on, and then you drop out the hammerheads again. If you're using weapons, obviously you just keep shooting and so on. So one more, so we're just gonna, that's it, go ahead and drop those out and then start shooting again. But this is the base part of it here. It has a fair old amount of hit points, this thing, but nothing that, you know, even if you're using a longer range setup, you can pull them off of it to the point where, you know, you can make them come off of the satellite and so on. So when it gets right close there, we'll come back. So as you can see, it's very, very nearly dead at this point. We had to pull the trains back in like 6 times, and here we're going to have a rather large explosion, but we're not really interested in that. What we want is the loot. That's telling you that there's no further escalation, and then you go ahead and open the loot, pull the drones in. And there you go, 362 mils worth of loot. So good haul, good run. And you don't have to kill anything else. There's nothing in those supply crates. It's just rubbish, so you can just leave. Or if you want the money for the bounties, you can go ahead and do that. So that's the Guristas 410. Again, apologies for any screaming or coughing you heard in the background. Busy household. But there you go. We'll see you soon. Take it easy.